Hi, everybody. Welcome to the second iteration of the WilCity Meetup. My name is Jesus Vasquez, um, and I'm here with Donald. The idea of this iteration is to be able to discuss a little bit more about what plugins we use, in addition to the ones that come standard with WilCity, and also we will talk a little bit more about optimization. The idea is to have a conversation rather than me presenting to you. Of course, I put together a presentation to guide the conversation, but let's make this a discussion. Let's talk about what is working for you and how you're making it work. Let's learn from each other, and hopefully by the end, we will walk away with some good ideas to implement in our own sites.
Maybe we can start off by talking about page builder, since that's always a popular topic inside of the group. What page builder people use, why do they use it? We all know that in order to use the app, you have to use King Composer. But in reality, some of us might be more familiar with Elementor or Visual Composer. Such as myself, I use Elementor on a daily basis for that. So for me, I had to install both Elementor and King Composer on the same site so that I could have a functioning app and a good looking website, so that my clients are able to easily update it themselves, or for me to be able to easily update it. So it is okay to run two page builders on one website, but for me, all of my pages were built in Elementor, and the only thing that I had built with King Composer was just that one page for the app homepage, and that was it. So
Now, for those of you that might be wondering, you do not need to keep King Composer active after you build the app. You can deactivate it. It have to remain installed, but you can. Any questions?
that's good to know.
Meaning that if I use the Elementor, I can only install the King Composer, right?
Yes, you can have both installed, but you can deactivate King Composer once you build the app page.
I didn't know that. That's good to know.
Oh,
Yeah, I believe that's on the documentation, and I did it. It works. So
If it works, why not?
yeah.
Hopefully, it doesn't change to 2.0.
means it won't affect the mobile API. Yeah.
No, it will not affect the app.
Oh, okay. Good to know that.
All right. With that being said, Donald, would you please allow me to share my screen?
Okay.
One question, do you hear me?
Yes.
One question, does it have any drawbacks to have the two builders installed? Any drawbacks on the speed of the site, maybe?
As long as you deactivate King Composer, it should not play any. It should not change anything.
Okay. Okay.
The reason why I use Elementor, just like Donald, is because flexibility. There are many extensions for Elementor that you can use to build beautiful pages.
I see.
Elementor is well supported. And most of the time, if you see something that you like to recreate, you're going to be able to do it with free or paid extensions.
Okay.
I'm not completely sure if it's the same thing for King Composer, but I haven't seen much. I haven't seen many extensions out there.
Okay, you're good to go, Jesus.
All right, cool. All right. Is everybody able to see my presentation?
Yep.
All right. Yes. So, oops. Okay. So these are the most basic ones that most people are using. Of course, the list might be a little bit longer, but this is what most people ask me, hey, what do you use as the bare basic? As the bare minimum, I use, of course, most of the plugins that come bundled with the WilCity theme. I use Elementor and Elementor Pro. I use WooCommerce and Dokkan Pro. Dokkan and Dokkan Pro are optional for you if you decide to set up a marketplace or no. It's up to you. But I will tell you that I am finishing building my my marketplace. I'm redoing it, and there is a lot of cool things that you can do with Dokkan and Dokkan Pro. There are many options out there, depending on your niche. That will depend on whether or not you will have any benefit on using it. But I would say at least explore it, get familiar with it, because you might come up with some ideas that you might not have had in before knowing about it. Are there any questions? All right. The first plugin that I decided to cover is WP All Imports. Are any of you familiar with it or using it?
I've used it many times. Yep.
Okay.
I do too.
So for those of you that are not familiar, WP All Import allows you to import posts, pages, WooCommerce products, orders, categories, tags. You can import listings. So if you're migrating from a different theme, or if you have all your data in a CSV file, you can import all of it rather than doing it manually one by one. It's super, super easy to use. And
It's a one-time fee too. Yeah, that's what the best part is for me.
it's a $99 one-time fee, so you don't have to worry about paying it every year. You pay once, use forever. I use this plugin in conjunction with TestAU, which I use to scrape data from Facebook pages and Google Maps. So basically, I have a form that I send an email to local business owners, and I ask them to fill out the form, and I ask them for permission to download the data from there, so I can upload pictures and everything that is public knowledge into my website. That way, they don't have to go and have to add all the data manually, make it easier on them. But not only that, I ensure that all the data is standard and uniform across the site.
So what was the name of the tool you used to scrape the data from the Facebook pages?
I use TestAU. There are many other ones. There is one that is called BotSol or something like that. I use TestAU because number one, it allows me to scrape the maximum amount of data. But number two, I got a lifetime deal on it. So
what's that called?
TestAU. It's going to be TEA. Let me see if I can.
Maybe if you write it on the chat, it's more easy for us.
It will be fun, better, yes. Agree.
Okay, let me.
Yeah, get us a link. Oh, text AU.
That.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. If any of you are interested in learning how to use it, I can do one of these probably next week or 2 weeks from now and show you how to use it.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, it's super easy. Like I said, there are many tools that do this that are probably less, but the one that I use is that one. It gives me all the data that I need and super easy to use.
But Jesus, you use this tool to grab data from Facebook and Google Maps, or only Facebook, or from where exactly do you grab the data?
I grab the data from Facebook pages and Google Maps.
Okay. Only with this tool?
Yes.
Okay, okay, thanks.
Yep.
Is it a subscription or one-time purchase?
It is a subscription. It costs $29 per month, and you can scrape like 150 or 200 listings per day.
Wow. Okay.
So
great tip. Thank you.
Yeah, the way I look at it is, if I were to pay a digital assistant, a virtual assistant, it would cost me much more than that.
Absolutely.
But like I said, I can put together a class for next week or 2 weeks from now, and we can discuss that. I got some other people that were asking me for it too, so we can make it happen.
You'll post that potential class on the group?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And this is to get back to the all imports. What was your feedback? Were you able to fill out all the fields bulk
Yes.
imported to work to the theme, or have been some fields that have been difficult to import with this?
Well, there are a few things that I do not import. So I do not import the address. I do it manually. I haven't figured out how to do it correctly.
Yeah, I had the same difficulty too. Yeah, with the latitude, longitude, and the address, it has been very difficult.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit laziness on my part, not trying to figure it out. Just finding the issue and trying to fix it in 10 minutes. If I didn't fix it, then I move on. So that's number one. And the second one were videos.
Yes.
Because you cannot import videos from Facebook.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
This plugin, right? If I'm not mistaken, if you're using the free one, we're still able to import, right?
I don't know. I always use the paid one.
Because I didn't put this plugin. I just using the plugin which installed from the plugin store, and then I think it seems like worked very well. Because I did import around 2,000 listing using this also, but I didn't buy this plugin. Yeah.
Okay. You might be able to use the free one. Now, good thing that you mentioned that. Something that I can a little bit overlook is that you will need to install the WilCity extension as well, which is
yeah.
So if you use WP all import, you need the WilCity extension.
Yes.
It's available on their WilCity documentation site, whatever that is. Are there any other questions for this one?
I'm good.
Good.
The next one that I would like to cover is WP Event Aggregator Pro. Basically, this plugin will allow you to scrape and import all the Facebook events that you want just by copying the Facebook ID. So if you go to a Facebook event on your browser, you're going to see the URL that is facebook.com/event/ and a bunch of numbers and letters. That's the Facebook event ID. If you copy that, input it in this plugin, it scrapes the data from the Facebook events and import it into your WilCity events. And they have I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, if you could just list the data that it does scrape from the event. So does it take the title, the picture, the starting date? What else does it?
The
scrape?
description.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Nice. Hi, this is Jose from Custom Listing App.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, Jose. We will get to you in just a minute. We are discussing a couple of other things right now.
Sure. I'm sorry if I interrupt you.
No, you're good. Just want to make sure you're good.
So it imports the description, imports the host for the event, and that's about it. That's most of the information that is on the Facebook events page, anyways.
Location also, for example.
I believe so. I have to double check on that.
Nice.
Also, it's nice to know that there is a WilCity extension, so you will need to install that. So it imports on the WilCity format. All right, Jose, you have a question?
No.
So who's the producer on the event aggregator plugin?
Um,
I will be sure to put links to all of these plugins in the meeting notes once I have it up on the WilCity guide.
yeah,
Great. Thank you, Dan. Don.
also, if you want me to send you the presentation, I can send you the presentation.
Yep.
I have another version that have the links and have more information. Just that I didn't finish it, so I used the one with the bare minimum information.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I
fine. We can
sent,
put that. We can put that up on the guide as well.
Yep.
yeah, I sent you a message yesterday asking for. I sent you my email address actually, which is I think what you had asked us to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once I get it done, I will send it to everybody that sent me the message. I will also send it to Donald, and he can post it on the site.
Yep,
That-
and I can do an email to whoever is subscribed to the guide. I can send it to you guys as well.
That's great. Fantastic.
Any other questions about this one? Nope. Okay. Let me delete this. The next one is a really popular one. It's WP Rocket. WP Rocket is used to optimize your site and to cache the site files in the browser. Basically, this plugin is used typically to optimize your site, so it runs faster. It loads faster whenever visitors visit your site. It costs $49 per year for one site. All the prices that are listed on these slides are for one site. They have other plans, but I figured listing that would make it less confusing. There are many alternatives for this. I could not list them, but to me, this is the best option for this purpose.
Yep, I agree. This is the best speed optimization plugin. I use it on every single website that I launch, whether it's WilCity or not.
Yep.
How difficult is it to set it up? Is it hard?
No.
No, it's very easy. There's a few things you need to do when it comes to a WilCity site because the developers do not want you to minimize any of their files. So you have to skip that part. But otherwise, it does a great job with, it's basically trial and error with all of the settings, especially with the WilCity site because every site is built differently and it all depends on your server and your plugins that are installed on the site. So while there is some basic settings to follow with what WP Rocket, every website is different and has to be treated differently when you enable and disable some settings. So certain things will work. It's just the main thing is you got to disable caching on specific pages like the ad listing page and the checkout page. Some of those pages that can't be cached, things like that. But for the most part, it's pretty much good to go right out of the box.
In this context, guys, did you hear about a plugin called SiteGround Optimizer? It's also a similar plugin, also offered by the host itself. I heard that it also possible to combine it with WordPress Rocket. It might be even have better results when combining both of them. Any comments on that? Do you hear?
SG Optimizer is usually the standard plugin that SiteGround installs on all of their websites when they're on their host. It's usually not the best idea to combine multiple optimization plugins unless they're doing different jobs. I personally haven't used SG Optimizer because I don't host on SiteGround, and it really doesn't make sense for me to use it if you're not on SiteGround. But you just have to make sure that your settings are different. So if you're going to be using one plugin to optimize images and one to optimize your files, then that's a little different. But if you're using both of them to minimize files or to enable caching on pages, then they're really going to be butting heads against each other. I use two caching plugins on my sites. There's one that comes with my hosting. It's a Redis cache plugin, and that one I use for all of the caching of my files. And then for WP Rocket, I'll use that to minimize all my files, and I'll actually disable WP Rocket's caching capabilities so that they're not conflicting with each other. So in that case, you can use multiple optimization plugins, just make sure that they're not butting heads and doing the same job, because it's, you know, two kings in a castle doesn't make sense. Something's going to get broken, and you know, there's too many things going on with that. So make sure they're not doing the same job. Keep them separate. So unless you really need to have them both enabled.
Yeah, they made it very clear in the instruction to try to not to have conflicts with the two plugins. You're right.
Yeah, and that would be the only conflict I would see, is if they're both trying to do the same job.
Yep.
The next one is Short Pixel. I use Short Pixel to optimize. Oh, my bad. To optimize the images on my site, make them smaller, therefore they load. The website loads faster, and I have some savings on the storage side of it. Directory size tends to be image heavy, so it's always a good idea, in my opinion, to optimize as many images as possible. The average optimization, the average storage saving that I get from Short Pixel is 48%. So that gives you an idea of how much space you're able to save, possibly by using Short Pixel.
Yep, I agree. Short Pixel is one of those other plugins that I install on every one of my website, and I have it optimized as that my clients are able to upload large files, and it'll automatically downgrade them to a few hundred kilobytes, so that they're optimized and they load fast. So yeah, definitely a good one. And if you catch it at the right time, sometimes on AppSumo they'll give you a lifetime deal that you don't have to pay more than one time for that. So basically, I think I went on AppSumo and I got a deal with them for Short Pixel, and
I
think it was like 15,000 images a month, and I paid like $150 one time, and I get 15,000 images a month for life. So,
but even if you don't catch the lifetime deal, they offer 5,000 images for $8.33 per month, or you can buy one-time credits, which is like 10,000 images for like $10 or something like that.
yeah, it's definitely a really good deal to get Short Pixel.
If you're looking for a free option, Smosh do a decent job. Probably not as good as Short Pixel, but it's definitely decent. And being free, I mean,
I've got Smush.
okay. How do you like it?
It's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Short Pixel does have also a free plan, right?
Short Pixel?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't think they have a free plan. The lowest that they have is $3.99 a month, and that's 5,000 images per month. Now, just so you know, just because you're optimizing one image on your website, that doesn't mean it's one image, because there's multiple variations of that one image that WordPress breaks down. So you have a medium, large, full size image that all need to be optimized. So one image that's been uploaded on your site can have 5 different variations. So in reality, if you have the 5,000 per month package, you're only really optimizing 1,000 images instead of 5,000 images. So keep that in mind when you're choosing the right plan that you're trying to get.
Thank you for the clarification.
By the way, Short Pixel, they have a free plan, but not for the plugin. They have a free plan to use directly on their website. So if you have a picture in your computer, you can go to these. I will put the link on the chat because it can be useful for some situations. Imagine that you have just a few images and you want to optimize them. You can use their online service, which is not the plugin, and then there you get 100 images for free every month. Okay, so if you want to optimize images, just a few images, it can be a solution, a nice solution. But for the plugin, Donald is right. So there's not a free version. So you always need to get some kind of subscription. Okay, but for a small amount of images, you can use the link that I put in the chat, and you can have 100 image optimized for free every month.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there. I know tinypng or tinyjpg.com lets you do like 20 images at a time, and that's one that I've used for quite some time before I got Short Pixel. And then another one to optimize images is called Imsanity, IMSANITY, and that one's a free one too. That one's pretty aggressive though, but I use that for quite some time to optimize my images. Yeah.
Any questions, comments?
Mm-hmm. Everything's okay.
So, advanced custom fields. I will be honest with you, I don't use these on my site. Somebody recommended in the group, so I decided to add it. Hopefully one of you can comment on it. I do not use it, so
yeah, ACF is a really good plugin. I use it on a lot of my sites. Whether you're familiar with ACF, if you want to add like more fields to your listings and things of that nature, then that's also something you can do. But also a lot of people don't know that you can do something called theme options. So basically how a theme's set up, it underneath of your theme options under WilCity, all of those are global settings. And you can actually add that to any of your other websites that you have. So let's say you're building a website for a client and they want to be able to update some information. ACF is a really good way for you to do that. Or let's say you have some information that's going to be on multiple pages. ACF is a really good way to show that. So if you have like a phone number that's going to show up on the footer and the contact us page, and let's say they want to change it, all you have to do is update it in one spot and it changes everywhere. ACF will not show up in the app, to my knowledge. So that is a big downfall if you're going to be doing custom fields like that. If you want to do custom fields, then we suggest, using the built-in functionality that WilCity's provided us to do ACF fields, not ACF fields, but custom fields, so that way they show up in the app. Jesus, can we pause the plugin discussion for just a second? Because let's see, we want to have a discussion about the WilCity app, and we have somebody from Custom Listing app who made a listing app for my listing theme. And I had them able to join us. So I think they're looking for basically what we would want the app to do, what functionality it's missing currently, which I'm sure we can all agree on is the ability to add listings from the app. So we'll welcome him, Jose. If you want to go ahead and unmute, introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure, guys. Well, thank you for the invitation. As Donald said, yes, I'm from Custom Listing app, which is basically a mobile application which consumes the information from a WordPress website, which has already installed the My Listing theme. We started this project on 2018, if I remember correctly. Well, we developed this application in parallel when we were studies here at the university. And right now, since we already finished, we were, let's say, adding new functionalities to the mobile application in order to make the application the most similar to the website. I mean, the same functionalities that you have in the website, you will see all these functionalities in the mobile application. and also this mobile application will use, I mean, the same information that for course your website is offered to your final users, or if you change some configuration in your listing, you add new fields, you add a new listing type in your website, you add, for example, what else? Listing types, categories, regions, all this information is synchronized and the application can consume this information. And yeah, that's all. And Andrea today told me, well, no, 2 days ago or 3 days ago, I don't remember, told me about this this thread that has started with Donald about this opportunity to build an application that let's say consume the information from WilCity team, because there is no mobile application for this team, right? So
There is,
yes.
but it's just not the greatest in terms of being quick and the functionality of certain items, such as being able to add listings from the mobile app, which we know is one of the big things that people want to do while they're in an app. And then, of course, there's a bunch of other items that we could, of course, throw at you. So.
And yes, and that is something that I would like to, I forgot to mention. I mean, when we were studied this theme, we saw that there was a mobile application, which is List App, but this app, List App, doesn't have the same, let's say, features that my listing team offers you. So what we did was to build a plugin that exposed some REST services. And in this way, the mobile application will consume the information. But in order to offer all this functionality to the final users, we perform like reverse engineering to the code in order to understand what the theme does, okay, at code level. And yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think we discussed in our last meetup that we would even probably be willing to do some sort of crowdfunding that may get you guys started. And we know that the app is going to be obviously a separate purchase from WilCity theme, just in case you guys weren't aware, all of the WilCity users. It would have to be a separate purchase. That's how it is now with the My Listing theme. They have the app files inside of Code Canyon, so that way you can purchase it, download it, build it yourself, and of course the custom listing app, they also offer the ability to build it for you. At least that's what I was under the impression a few weeks ago, that they'll build it for you as a service,
Yes.
as a whatever fee they choose to charge. So it's similar to what WilCity is doing now, because they also offer to build it for you at a charge, and then it's bundled with the theme. So this app would be a completely separate purchase from WilCity, and if they have enough people who are willing to buy, then I'm sure they'll put in the work for it, or at least put in some thought about coding it. But it's something that would take several months to even see what they're able to do, or see a final product. So it's something to think about for that.
Now, let me ask you, what would be an approximate price range for it? Because I'm pretty sure that most people would base it based on
Right.
the cost.
I know I can't speak for them, but I know that the current one that they offer is under $100.
Okay.
I think it's
That's affordable.
$69.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I can't remember how much it cost.
and for me the biggest thing would be adding listing, probably a nicer UI, because the app that we have now is ugly.
Yeah.
And speed. And the speed.
Yep.
That's speed.
Yeah, the great thing that they have with the custom listing app right now, or for the My Listing, is they have about 3 different homepage options to choose from.
Okay.
I can't find it for some reason. Custom listing app.
Let me search for the link of the theme.
There you go. I'll put it in the in the chat if anybody wants to go look and see what they've done for this other theme. You can look at the live preview or look at the screenshots so you can see what they have. And they also added the ability to do the direct messaging too. So you shouldn't lose out on that functionality, depending on how well WilCity built a theme and the REST API. It all depends on what functionalities will be included in this app if they're able to do it.
Is that the one by Italian coders?
Yes. Yep. So with this one that they've already got up, they were able to do push notifications, WooCommerce integration, and then of course integration with the theme. You can let's see. I know that they have some demos that you're able to take a look at.
Yeah, I'm looking at the screenshot. This looks nice.
Yeah, I mean, they really did what we really need. Yeah, there's 2 demos and another demo in the Play Store. So you guys are more than welcome to download those, check it out, and see what your thoughts are on that. And then, like I said, possibly do some crowdfunding to get them going and get them started, because we all know how much it costs to start something brand new up. So, Francis, what do you mean by conflict of interest? If some third party wants to build an app for WilCity, then I think they're free to do that. Yep. So I'm pretty sure everybody's looking at it right now just to see what they've done. If you guys have any questions for Josh, I'm sorry, for Jose, now's the time to ask. He's not going to be able to stay on too much longer because it is late where he is. So if you have any questions, now's the time. If not, just let me know the questions and I can ask them through a Facebook chat, and then we can get the answers in a few days.
Yeah.
But,
so let me ask you, how will it be fair to assume that you will be able to keep up with WilCity functionality as they release it?
That is something that currently we are trying to, let's say, be synchronized with my listing, because at every time they release a new update, we need to let's say start reviewing the log, the change log, and then start trying to see how our mobile application behaves. And they, in case of issues or new functionalities or new, for example, they decide to add a new table or something like that, or modify a query, we need to update our code. Yes, but most of the logic, I mean, most of the logic in most of the implementation, well, let's say 40%, okay, of the implementation, we reuse code of the from the team. I mean, we just include some of the reference, and that's all. So in any case, if they update something, we're gonna let's say use that new version of the code. Yes.
it would just be a really good idea to not update WilCity until the app has the update. That would be one main thing that you would have to always worry about, is do not update WilCity, which a lot of us already don't immediately update WilCity as it is, but that would be one major thing, is you need to wait, especially if somehow Italian Coders gets an app out before 2.0. Updating to 2.0 would be at least a month or 2 wait minimum.
Yes.
Because they need to examine all of the code and push out an update.
Yes.
So
and just to share this, that was a good question, and that made me remember time ago that happened. That happened in our project. There was an update that my listing did, and it broke one functionality on the mobile application. And luckily, the fix was done in the plugin. So users just need to update the plugin and not rebuild the mobile application.
Oh, that's
yeah.
good. Yep. Okay.
That's a big thing. I think that would be knowing that to bring assurance.
Yep. And I believe that they'll be more quick to add functionality, such as add listing to the app, because that's something they don't have to wait on WilCity for. They can do that themselves, because WilCity already has it in the theme. So obviously, somehow, I'm sure it could be tapped into a mobile app functionality. Because I know that they said they're switching from Vue.js and the 1 dot over to React in a 2.0. So that's going to be something to where maybe Italian coders aren't even going to look into building an app until 2.0, because why do all of this research when they're going to completely change the language that the theme's built in? And I'm sure that's going to make a huge difference when building the app speed-wise. They might be able to build it faster once 2.0 comes out, because it's built in React, and a lot of native apps are built in React and Ionic. So
I got it. Yeah. Yes, that change of
Um,
version.
does anybody have any other questions for Jose about the app? No? I'll give people a minute if they're typing. Just because I know some people are on here and they're typing in chat, so we'll give them a minute. But yeah, you can probably expect it to be around the same price. Right now it's $79 on Code Canyon. That's where it would most likely be posted, is Code Canyon. How long will it take? Francis, like I mentioned, they would have to evaluate the code, and they might not even do it until 2.0, which is midsummer of launch time. So it's something that we might not even see until winter of this year, which isn't a helpful time frame. So yeah. Can we change the app styling? Yeah, as I mentioned before, they're on my listing, they have multiple homepage options. So I'm thinking that possibly they would have that for this one as well.
Guys, I'm gonna leave my email in case you have any other doubt.
Perfect.
Just let me remember. Okay.
I appreciate you coming in, Jose. It really helps us out a lot, because I'm sure a lot of the reason people are waiting to launch their sites is because of the app. So it really would help us if you guys took on this project. And like I said, maybe depending on how many people are interested in it, maybe some crowdfunding, just so that you guys can get off on the right foot. But yeah, now you know what could be in store for WilCity with 2.0 and them changing the language to React, which would be a huge thing.
Thank you for the invitation, and for sharing all this information. Really, all this time I'm focused on the new features that we're going to release in this new version of the mobile application, which is the 1.6.0. And well, just wait for it, and we're gonna post a message on our Facebook group, guys. You can check the information there on Code Canyon. You have my email if you want to contact me. I'm one of the main developers of this application. I'm in charge of the backend, and Andrea and the another guy is in charge of the UI, all the magic that the user experience with the application. So if you have any question, just send me an email, and thank you again for the invitation, and I hope you see you again in another call. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It was nice
Thank
seeing
you. Bye, guys.
All right, so Jesus, you want to go ahead and continue with the plugins?
Yeah.
Awesome, thanks.
Before I continue, quick question. How do you guys see the chat? Oh, never mind.
Got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we already discussed advanced custom fields. All right, the next one I would like to discuss is if so. So if so is a plugin that can personalize and customize your pages based on different factors. So some of the factors that can be used is where the user is coming from, whether they're coming from Facebook, Google, Bing, their geolocation. Um, Basically, there are like 5 to 6 factors right now that can be used to customize that. So what I use this for is my site is for different cities, right, within my country, and I'm looking to span at different places within the United States. Therefore, I am customizing based on their geolocation. So it can say, oh, discover the best places in Texas or Puerto Rico or Canada or whatever the case is. So it always displays the right message to the right person rather than being something more generic. It's more personalized to them. Or you can tell them, oh, thank you for visiting us from Facebook, or thank you for clicking on my Facebook ad, or whatever the case is. It's more personalized. This one costs $139. That's a one-time fee. Now, with that being said, if you decide to use the geolocation, that comes with a monthly cost. I believe it's 10,000 geolocation requests for like $10 a month. Any questions about this one?
I purchased this before. It was also an AppSumo deal.
Yep.
The part I loved about it was the geolocation, being able to show people their approximate location.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was really nice. Specifically, I used it for a bridal website saying best wedding vendors in blank. So it showed their city name. So they felt that it was more personalized when they visited the website.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a big thing, you know. Um, when you're visiting a site, you want to feel that whatever you're seeing is relevant to you rather than something generic.
Yep. That's very important. Francis, no, it doesn't. I'm pretty sure it's not going to support in the app. Pretty much any plugin that you install other than King Composer is not going to be supported in the app because WilCity would have to write the code for that to be implemented, excluding like WooCommerce Booking and Doken and things of that nature. They've already coded that into the app, so those are going to work in the app.
So I just shared the link. If you want to go and take a look at it, feel free to do so.
Yep, good plugin. I forgot about this one.
The next one, it's real big. I think most of you are going to like it. It's called Gero Pencil. If you're like me and you're not a developer, I know a little bit about writing code, but not that much. You can use Gero Pencil to customize any CSS in your site by just clicking and dragging and changing colors. So it feels somewhat like using Elementor. You don't really need to know how to write code to make changes. The founder of Mushos, I forgot his name, but basically he developed a WilCity site that doesn't look like a WilCity site. It looks completely different, and it was mostly using Gero Pencil. Any questions about this one?
Well, not a question. I just would like to share my experience with Yellow Pencil. Before I used Yellow Pencil, I used to do what most of us does. So we go to the Chrome, to the option in Chrome to see the CSS and so on and so on. But sometimes it's not easy to identify exactly the CSS that we need to change. And also sometimes it's not easy to find how exactly we should write the CSS code to change what we need. With Yellow Pencil, everything is super easy. With this, we can change every colors of first we can discover every element of the page just by clicking. We can change the colors, we can change spaces. And one of the things that it's very interesting with Yellow Pencil is that we can change a specific element only for one page or for all the site at once. So sometimes we may want to change something only in the home page, but not in the other pages, or sometimes we may want to change one element everywhere. So we have the option to change whatever we need to change, and in only one page or in every pages at once. It's great plugin, and it's a time saver, especially when we want to customize things. And in WilCity, there will be always a lot of things we want to customize.
Yep, definitely. Eddie says if we make a huge amount of modification, does it affect the website speed? If you're changing CSS, generally the answer would be no. It should not affect the website speed. Now, if you're adding hundreds of lines of CSS into your customizer or your theme options, then potentially it could affect the speed of the site. But generally, modifying some of those things like that will not affect the speed of the site. Yes, the search bar he's using on the site, I believe, is the WilCity one.
Now, Donald, the site that I was referring to wasn't Mushes, is another one that he developed, that he created a profile for you, the one for developers. I forgot the name.
Oh, yeah, that one.
I was looking for it, but I cannot find it.
Let me see.
That site looks impressive, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that site was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I cannot find it.
Yeah, he PM'd me it. Here, let me get it right here. Yeah, here it is.
While Donald is looking at it, this plugin, you can find it from Code Canyon. It costs $26. Of course, just like everything else on Code Canyon, it's $26, unlimited updates, but you only get 6 months of support.
All right, linked it in the chat so you guys are able to see that. Yeah, they did a really good job with this website.
Yeah.
I think that they're in this in the Zoom call because he asked me for the link.
Who?
Muchos.
Forgot his name. His last name is Cifuentes. I forgot his first name. Marco. Yeah, I don't see him here.
No, I don't see him either. Okay.
All right, the next one. It was suggested by Mr. Joe. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Did I say it right?
It's João.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. It's Filebird. So basically, Filebird allows you to create folders for every image. So you can organize them into folders. So basically, when your users upload images, they can create folders and they know where to go and find their images.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
They're only able to see their files, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, they are only able to see their own files. This is a great plugin, and it helps a lot. Well, depending on the size of our directories and depending of the structure that we have, but what this does is we can usually we have media library, and we have all the images on the same level. Okay, so we don't have folders on media library, and with this we can create folders to organize our images. So for example, on my directory I have a folder for events, and so all the images regarding to events go to the folder events. I have another folder for blog, so every images that are related to the blog posts, they are on the folder blog. This is great because after, when I need to find an image or when I need to replace an image, I can go straight to the folder, and it's much more easy to find the images and to well, and to have everything very well, to have all our images very well organized in media library.
Any other questions? Would anybody want to add anything else to it? All right. Moving on. The next one was also, well, no, actually, the next one is Block Vault. I use this for backups. I know many people have different opinions about different plugins. This is what I typically use. There are many options out there. There is Updraft Plus, WP Vivid, Backup Buddy. I believe WP Vivid still have a lifetime deal available. So there are many options available out there. The reason why I selected Block Vault is because they have a dashboard on their own site that I can access and restore and manage my files from their own site, rather than having to do it on my site. I don't know if the other ones offer that functionality, but for what I could research, they didn't. Plus, they offer Malcare bundle with it for security, and so I decided to go with that one. What do you guys use?
This is the best plugin ever. I use this and I install it on every one of my sites. I don't use it mainly as a backup solution, but I use their backup solution because I want to have multiple copies of backups.
Mhm.
I mainly use it for WordPress management of a lot of websites, so that I can manage a bunch of websites under one roof.
Also really good for migration.
Oh yeah, the migration on this is awesome. I can migrate gigabytes worth of websites in a matter of like 10 minutes. It is very awesome to do.
And also you can create what is it called? Staging sites.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Free staging sites because it's included in your plan.
Yep.
And they'll automatically expire if you stop using them. It's got the like Jesus mentioned, the malware scanning every single day, page speed. You can automatically send out reports to your clients. It monitors the uptime. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick because I want to show you guys.
You want me to stop sharing mine?
I got it. All right, so here is a dashboard for one website. Basically, you have a preview of the website up here. You have the name of the website, the link of the website, what WordPress version you're running, how many plugins are total and active, the theme, and then the users. You can manage your users on a bulk basis, files, tables, and how big your website is. The backups tells you how many backups, how big they are, when the last backup was, and you can take a backup manually if you want to, or you can go into deeper details about your backups. And you can see how often it backs it up, all your files that it backs up, things of that nature. Download a copy of your backup on the spot. You don't have to worry about it. Depends on how big your website is, depends on how long it takes to download. Migrate it. So I already have a backup from 16 hours ago. I could just migrate it to a new domain name if I wanted to. I don't have any stagings, but your performance, you can see how fast it loads. If you have any security things that you need to address, traffic logs of all of your incoming traffic, your login logs, anybody who's trying to log in, so all these invalid usernames, all these blocked logins, because it has its own built-in firewall. Let's see, and then more details about your site. So it's clean. There's no malware. You can scan it on demand. Your admin logins, traffic, login as an overview, performance. You can see your load time. So it gives you kind of like a GT metrics breakdown waterfall of your load times. All your plugins, you can manage it from here. So all you have to do is just click here, click update. You can enable the visual regression, means it'll take a screenshot before and a screenshot after, and it'll show you what percent of the website changed. Like if there's any visual change, and you can take a backup beforehand, and then you can hit proceed, and it gives you a nice visual representation of what it's doing on your websites. And then of course you have your reporting, so you can send out custom reports to your clients, and then the uptime monitoring, you can turn it on or off, and it just checks it every 15 minutes. This is the best investment I have ever made. I paid $200 a month for this for 100 websites. So that it tells you how awesome it is if I'm paying $200 a month for this thing. But yeah, it just gives you, like, see, it says this site's hacked. It said it found a hack 16 hours ago. Turns out, luckily, it was a false positive, so I didn't have to worry about that. All of my plugins that need to be updated over my websites, the amount of sites that I'm managing total, all the statuses, how many clients. You can make it so that part of your team can only access certain parts of the dashboard. All of your backups, all of your security, everything is in one spot, so you can see everything. This is definitely worth the money if you're going to be serious about either security or managing multiple clients' websites. Yeah, like I said, I'm happy to pay them $200 every single month in order to have this functionality and this software. And it, like I said, it comes with an extra backup. So not only do I have my backups on my hosting, I have WP Vivid Pro installed on all my websites that back up to Wasabi, which is like Amazon S3. It's an off-site backup. And then I also have BlogVault backups. So I have 3 copies of every single website that I manage that I can access at any time, because you never know when one's going to be corrupted or
So you run WP Vivid and BlogVault at the same time?
Yep. WP Vivid is an hourly backup that I do on all my websites, and BlogVault is a one-time daily, because I don't feel like paying the extra money for the live backups that they offer. It's mainly for WooCommerce sites, but WP Vivid, I do my hourly backup, especially for my e-commerce websites. Maybe my other websites, I'll do a daily backup or every 12 hours. My host backups they back up to my Wasabi account, and then WP Vivid backs up to my Wasabi account, and then BlogVault, they back up to their own, I think it's Amazon S3 account that they have.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that you could run both. I thought they were going to run into conflicts.
Nope, no conflicts with them, because of the off chance that they run at the same time, I haven't had any issues with that. So I do notice that, like with the WilCity guide, I'm unable to run WP Vivid Pro on it. For some reason, it always times out. So I'm not able to run it there. So for the WilCity guide, I have Blog Vault, and I have my host backups enabled, but I'm not able to do WP Vivid Pro because it just keeps timing out. It won't let me do it, which is weird. It's not even that big of a website either, so it doesn't make any sense.
So for those of you that might be interested in paying only one time, WP Vivid Backup Pro is available for a one-time fee of, I'm trying to see what is the price right now. I got it for a discounted price. But
yeah, WP Vivid is definitely something to buy if you guys are looking for a system, a one-time payment system. It's definitely one of the best. I've tried Updraft, I've tried Backup Buddy, I've tried WP Time Capsule. I really prefer WP Vivid Pro over all of those, but Blog Vault over all of those, I would prefer.
actually, they just finished their lifetime deal.
No way.
Yeah. That's bad. I'm sorry.
That's a bummer. That's truly a bummer. Mm-hmm.
All right, continuing here. Logo translate. So if you
just a second, just before we go to the next one, I would like to share the plugin that I use for backups because, well, I agree that plugin that we have been seeing now, Blog Vault, well, is amazing. It does plenty of things and so on and so on. But sometimes we only need something simple. We need something fast, simple, easy, and sometimes also free. So what I use for my own backups, and that I use for to do the backup of a website, and also to migrate a website from one domain to another one, is this one that I'm going to put in the chat, which is the Duplicator. With Duplicator, this is very, very, very simple to use. We just install the plugin, we do a backup, and we save the backup in our hard drive. If we want to migrate, we just the plugin generates two files. One zip file, which is the content of the site and the content of the FTP and the content of the MySQL. And also a PHP file that we use when we migrate to a new domain. So if we want to migrate, for example, our WilCity directory, and we changed the name, for example, for some directory.com to directory.country TLD or something. We just do the backup on the original site. We put the two files, the PHP and the zip file, on the root of the new domain. We execute the PHP, and in seconds we have our website migrated to the new domain. So it's simple, it's easy, and I do everything with the free version. So for someone who only wants to do a backup, a manually backup once in a while, or for someone who needs to migrate the directory or any site to a new domain, this is amazing. It works, and it's free, and it's fantastic.
Yep, I've used Duplicator in the past. It definitely is pretty simple and free to use. It's nice.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Never used it before, but I would be willing to try it out and see how it works. All right. Now, will anybody else like to add anything else?
No, we can go on to Local Translate.
All right. The next plugin that I use is Local Translate. As you already know, WilCity comes in English as the default language. So if you want to translate your site into your local language for your home country, Like me, for me, it would be Spanish. I'm from Puerto Rico. I use local translate to translate my site. Now, the biggest takeaway from local, well, the biggest thing that you should know about local translate is that local translate doesn't make your site multi-language. It just translates your site to the desired language that you want. Another feature that local translate provides you is that if you find grammatical errors in the theme, you can use local translate to fix them. You just go find the string that you want to fix, and you fix it with local translate. Local translate is free, and you can find it at the WordPress repository.
Yep. This is how you change that become an author text to whatever you want it to be.
Yep. That question pops up almost every other week.
Yep, it does. And we have I linked the documentation for the translation, and I also linked our languages file that our great community has been helpful in giving us. Thank you. And so those are available for download. That way you can use those to translate your WilCity website. Eddie says, do we need to pay Google API for translation? Local Translate does not use any Google API.
Actually, they do. They have an option for it.
Oh.
I don't think you have to pay for Google API. I'm not completely sure though.
You'll have to do some more digging into that, Eddie, if you want to see about the Local Translate for.
I had never used it with them, so.
Me neither.
I don't know, but I have seen it there. I know it's there because I talk about using it. But I don't like Google Translate for translations. It translate weird stuff.
Yeah, that might be it. I kind of just use the translate in Google Chrome kind of functionality. I get the basic gist of the website with that minor translation.
So since we're talking about translations, there is a website that is called DeepL. That's the best translator I have found so far.
What is it?
DeepL. I will put the link there.
I did a tutorial video for a SaaS company, Weglo, for translation.
Okay, yeah.
It's pretty good, but it's expensive.
Yeah, they're really expensive.
Very expensive.
But DeepL is the best translator I have found so far. There are minimal errors that I have to fix when I translate stuff. So.
Oh, that's good.
I had a special duty assignment for my job as a translator for a couple of months, and that's what I was using. I was like, man, I'm not trying to translate 10 pages now. Just go upload the document, it translates it for you, and you move on.
You're good to go.
Yep.
Okay, just to add another one. I don't know. I never worked with DeepL, but I've worked in the past with this one. Maybe you know, which is PO Edit. I don't know if you know. The Pro version allows us to translate everything in a row. So we can use automatic translation with the complete file. Well, I may say that about 70% of the translation is okay, but we always need to revise it after. So this PO Edit is it's not a plugin. It's an ordinary software that you install in your Windows computer. You can import a PO file, and you can translate it manually, just like in Local Translate, or you can press a button and it translates everything automatically, and after you only have to revise it. Okay, so it can be a short way when you need to translate huge language files.
Never heard of that one, but it sounds really cool. I was actually looking for something that would do something like that, where I can upload a PO file and translate it for me for a different project. So
Yeah, so save this link because it's really very useful, and you can get the automatic translations with the Pro version. But it's a very cheap software, so
okay.
Yeah, I purchased this. I downloaded the Mac app download version. I never really bothered to try and figure out how it works, because I haven't needed to be able to translate anything yet. So, but I did purchase it.
well, it's the advantage of living in an English speaking country.
Yep, that's definitely a major advantage.
Yeah.
Everything is in English.
All right. Sticking with topic of translations, and the next one is WPML, and which WilCity just became compatible with a month ago or 2 months ago. Basically, basically, this plugin will allow you to make your site multilingual. Biggest difference between local translate and this. Please excuse me 1 second.
She said they're saying their ABCs. WilCity did just add the ability for WPML to be inside of the theme and the app, so that you can natively translate it using WPML. So that's something that a lot of people have been waiting for when it came to being able to translate this theme and the app. So now it's possible to do that with WPML if you install that. Follow the instructions on the lovely documentation. Let's see if I can find anything about it. They might not have updated it yet. Nope, they did. So if anybody's looking for the documentation, it's right here for WPML.
I apologize. I missed what you said, Donald.
I was just saying that they finally integrated WPML with the theme in the app.
Okay.
And I linked the documentation.
Yeah. So the biggest difference between WPML and local translate is that WPML makes your site multi-language. So basically, the user can switch between one language and the other real time. They do offer some automatic translation. It costs you money. They integrate with Google Translate, Bing Translate, and DeepL. Depending how much you're willing to pay, then that's whether or not you use one of those services or do it manually. I decided to pay for it because it makes it a little bit faster. Any questions about this one?
Good.
Sorry, what was the difference again to G translate?
Between local translate and WPML?
No, G translate. I'm having this one.
You mean Google Translate?
Probably it's G for Google, probably. But I use it, and there is the option then to choose the language, and it translates automatically the whole site. The translation is not perfect.
Yeah, with Google Translate, it's not perfect. In reality, I don't think there is a translator out there that will translate 100% perfectly. With that being said, DeepL have the highest, in my experience, DeepL has the highest accuracy versus Google Translate and Bing Translator.
Okay, yeah.
Next one for SEO, I use Rank Math. I have been using them for a year and a half, 2 years since their free version. Now I pay for the pro version. Biggest thing with Rank Math, they have a free version and pro version. In reality, free version is good enough for most people. It does the job, and the pro version comes with some other perks like you can track keywords, ranking on your website. You can see which posts are performing better than others. There is a whole lot of things that you can do with the pro version, but in reality, if all you're looking for is to optimize your content. The free version is good enough. Some other options here is just SEO, which most people say that is bloated.
That's for
Only
sure.
one SEO pack. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yoast is about the worst SEO plugin you can install.
Yeah. All-in-one SEO pack and the SEO framework. Honestly, before using Rank Math, I used to use, I don't even remember the name, but it's one that comes bundled with the Wpml package, which is part of the Smosh family. Forgot the name. But Rank Math is really good in my opinion.
I have a question related to these. Well, in the group, this topic of the SEO plugins have been discussed sometimes, and there are some people who use Yoast, there are some people who use Rank Math, there are some people who use other plugins. Well, the main ones are not many more, but one of the things that I see is that there are, in the group at least, most of the people prefers Rank Math. I never tried Rank Math yet. Personally, I use Yoast SEO Premium, and with Yoast SEO Premium, I have very good results. I'm happy with it. But you say that Rank Math is better. How better? And how for those of you who have already tried Yoast SEO and Rank Math, what exactly where exactly is Rank Math better than Yoast SEO? What kind of results you get with Rank Math that you don't get with Yoast SEO?
I've used both, and I have found myself that Yoast is sort of clunky, and it doesn't give you the view into the SEO, the on-page SEO, for example. It doesn't give you the real-time view that Rank Math gives you. Rank Math, as you make changes on the on-page SEO with keyword-based changes, you're going to get instantaneous results scored and improvement as you go in the on-page SEO changes. And that's with Rank Math. And I like that because it's sort of like instant gratification. You know, you're making those changes as you go through and making those changes on your content. And that's something that I think is pretty valuable if you're doing that, you know, on the fly in your blog content on your website.
Yeah, and I linked an article comparing Rank Math and Yoast that was done by a very well-known hosting provider, and it was just updated 4 days ago, so it's up to date with everything. Check that out. One that I use is SEO Press. They have a free version and a pro version. Pro version will run you at $39 for unlimited sites for 1 year. So I basically use that because it's got the ability to integrate with Google Analytics for adding multiple tracking codes in a real easy manner, making it so that you add all of your information so that you appear for local search results. Basically, it does what every other plugin does. I was using Yoast in the beginning, then I switched to Rank Math. I heard some unsettling things about Rank Math and the data that was collected from your website and from you, so I switched away from it. But I'm sure that they fixed that now because I've heard a few people say that they fixed it, especially in the pro version. But I switched over to SEO Press paid version for all of my websites because it also allows you to do to view the Google Analytics in your dashboard, which I think Rank Math does that, but I'm pretty sure Yoast does not do that, at least in the free version it doesn't. And I've also heard that the difference between Yoast and Yoast Pro, or whatever they want to call it, is not worth the upgrade when it comes to that.
I've heard that as well.
So I don't know anything about Yoast Local. I've never heard of that. So if anybody has any knowledge of Yoast Local, then Eddie wants to know a little bit more about that if possible.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
But I honestly haven't used it. It looks like everything that's also included in SEO Press Pro. And I'm sure it's also included in Rank Math Pro. So, yeah.
To be honest with you, if I were to go with one or the other, if I were to select, I would probably go with SEO Press or Rank.
Yep. One of the two. You can't go wrong with either. It all depends on what you want to do with the plugin. If you're just looking to do site titles and descriptions, then go with Yoast. I mean, that's as basic as you get. But if you're looking to do like your sharing images, so when you text somebody your website on an iOS device, or if you're sharing it on Facebook or social media, you want that pretty share image. Go with Rank Math, SEO Press. Ability to do some local items like your phone number, your logo, things of that nature when you appear in Google. Rank Math and SEO Press for that. If you're looking to get more in depth with your SEO, then Rank Math and SEO Press are the ones you're going to want to go with. And both of them have now been optimized to integrate with Elementor for those who are using Elementor Page Builder. There's a specific tab for SEO now when you install Rank Math or SEO Press that allows you to edit all of your site title, description, keywords, things of that nature while you're in the Elementor builder instead of the WordPress page builder. So benefits there.
Okay, great.
So I'm about to pull up just for you to have an idea of what we are able to see. I got 3 computers running at the same time, plus an iPad for my daughter, so she don't see the ABC. So internet is super slow. So please bear with me for a moment.
And I've never I never dove into Rank Math Pro because that's a fairly new product that they just launched within the past few months. So I like the dashboard though. Dashboard looks good.
Yeah, it's really nice. Like you get a lot of data.
Yeah, the keyword tracking is really awesome to do. The only thing that I really know that does that integratively with WordPress is managedwp.com. They have a keyword tracker built into that software management for your websites that works pretty well.
So the data here is all messed up because basically I have misconfiguration, but this gives you an idea of what you're looking at. So it tells you the overall configuration. So basically I got 12 posts that are good, 239 that are fair, 12 that are poor, that definitely requires optimization. And I got no data in 2,867. Still setting this up, still working on it. I just got the pro version like 2-3 months ago when they launched.
Yeah.
So basically, you can see the rank tracker. So basically, you're able to track the keywords and their rankings. You're able to see which keywords you are ranking for, or your site is being found. Like I said, there is a lot of red because I had counting Google Analytics 2 or 3 times because I was using something else. But there is a lot of stuff that you get out of it.
Keyword tracking is a priceless thing that you can have on your website.
So for me, just make it easier for me to go and see, okay, so this is what I got going on, rather than logging in to yet another tool.
Yep.
So I'm working here, I see, I take a look, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This is what I need to do. I would like to show you. Slowly. So this is what you see with rank math. Basically, you're able to figure out, okay, so this is exactly what I need to do to optimize the post. It tells you category by category what you need to do in order to get yourself the best chance to rank for that specific keyword. Of course, there will be some suggestions that may or may not be relevant, depending on what you're writing for and what your niche is. But for the most part, you get really good insights into what you're doing.
Yeah, 75% of what they tell you to do is relevant.
Yep.
And just because you followed all their suggestions, you have all green check marks, and you get that 100 out of 100, does not mean that you're going to appear number one in search.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Of course.
Just giving you all a heads up. This does not mean you appear number one in Google. It's much harder than
Just
that.
give you the best chance possible.
Yep, best chance possible.
Yeah, like
best way to put it.
you have to put out good content and you have to be competitive in order to rank number one. And even then, you might not be able to get it.
Yep, there's a lot to go into it.
All right, moving on. The next one that I use is Hubspot. I use Hubspot for my CRM. It's free for up to 100,000 contacts. And basically with Hubspot, once they sign up on any form on my site, their contact information gets transferred to Hubspot, and then I'm able to see which pages they visit, which pages they enter from, and which pages they left. So basically give me an idea, okay, so this person is visiting this page and this other page, maybe I can market them and send them an email about this or that. In a different group, me and Donald were talking about probably a long time ago, 6-8 months ago, about Fluent CRM. If they were able to do user tracking, I don't know if you remember that.
They haven't
conversation.
They haven't implemented that yet, but I'm hoping that they do.
For now, I use Hubspot for that.
Yeah. Fluent CRM right now is just basically an email marketing tool, a basic one right now. I mean, it's what I use to send out all the emails from the WilCity guide. So if you're getting those, then that is what I'm using to send out those emails is Fluent CRM. So I mean, it's basic. It does what I needed to do on my sites. But for those of you who need a lot more tracking, then definitely go with Jesus's recommendation with Hubspot.
Yep. The next one is Fluent CRM. As Donald said, it's a little bit more basic. I'm definitely switching to this one 100% once they release their user tracking, if they release it at some point. But with Fluent CRM, you are able to save a lot of money by not using an email service provider for sending out emails. So rather than using MailChimp or an ActiveCampaign or ConvertKit, you can use Fluent CRM, and you are going to pay pennies on the dollars. I believe for 100,000 emails through Amazon SES is like what, like $5-10?
It's extremely cheap to do Amazon SES.
So, and you can use their new plugin, which is called Amazon SMTP, Fluent SMTP, And if your host is not able to send out emails, you can use Fluent SMTP to send out the emails through them. And they use API, which is faster. So basically, they offer a few plugins that you're definitely able to use. Fluent SMTP is completely free. Fluent CRM is $129 per year. The cool thing about it is that all your data is, again, your website, but it's not going to slow it down because they use different data tables.
Yeah, they've done. I purchase every product that they come out with. Fluent CRM is a great alternative to Mailchimp and MailerLite and ActiveCampaign. And it integrates with WooCommerce too. They're going to be expanding it, so it's going to be a complete management tool. It's obviously in its 1.0 phase right now because it's a brand new plugin. But once they start releasing all of this new functionality, because in the beginning they were working on integrations with other platforms and things like that, but now that they're done working on that for now and implementing new features, and this is something that is going to thrive. And the email builder that you use it's just all Gutenberg. So you have a great email builder right into your native WordPress with Gutenberg, and you can just build out all your emails, add your images, things of that nature. So that's something that's been really great. And then I switched over from Offload SES plugin to Fluent SMTP to send out my emails, transactional emails and things like that from my site, using Amazon SES because, like I said, it's 10 cents for every 1,000 emails that you send on your site, and that is extremely cheap when you think about SendBlue or SendGrid or all of those other software services that charge you depending on how many emails you send out. It's just outrageous. And if you use Amazon SES and you host on an Amazon server, you get 62,000 emails free, and then you pay 10 cents for every 1,000 emails. And I don't know about you, but I haven't even come close to 62,000 emails. So I'm basically paying nothing for all of my emails because I host on Amazon servers. So that is just something that you might want to look into if you're not on a like GoDaddy. They take care of all your emails for you. So, but if you're on like Cloudways or GridPaint or SiteGround, things like that, or you might want to look into switching over to like Amazon SES and Fluent SMTP to send out your emails.
And at the end, I will show you something really cool that would give you probably about $10,000 on free Amazon credits. So
yeah, I got something. I got about $6,000 of Amazon free credits that I'm working on right now.
When I show you this, if you haven't taken advantage of this, I'm pretty sure you will go and do it.
Well, I'm gonna go do it if I haven't already. So.
All right. We will talk about that in a minute. The next one is Fluent Forms, developed by the same developers. It's not a backup solution. That's a mistake. I'm sorry. But basically, I use Fluent Forms for any form that I use on my site that is not to add listings. So for the contact form, I use it for, I have different forms throughout my site that business owners can get in contact with me for different reasons, contact forms. That's what I use Fluent Forms for. Honestly, it's being underutilized because these forms, there's a lot of things you can do. Like you can sell stuff through them because they can be integrated with Stripe and PayPal. Like honestly, possibilities are endless with this. I can think of many things right now, but possibilities are endless with Fluent Forms.
They're adding a coupon code ability now in the next update.
Yep.
That's gonna be cool. And I'm hoping that they add WooCommerce functionality soon.
Yeah, so if you're looking on creating like a landing well, not a landing page, but like a form where somebody can buy something for like an info product or something like that, definitely I would use Fluent Forms.
Yep. I bought their lifetime deal a while ago. They come out with deals all the time with for their life because I think they always have a lifetime deal with Fluent Forms. And um, I switched over from Gravity Forms to Fluent Forms immediately once they had added the ability to add custom post types to your website via the Fluent Forms. I switched over from Gravity Forms to Fluent Forms immediately because
Don't get me wrong, you don't have to use the paid version. They also have a free version that is really powerful.
yeah, the free version is nice too.
So
Um, and any form you see on the WilCity guide is using Fluent Forms. If you want to check out any demos, the contact a developer on the WilCity guide is using Fluent Forms. A lot of the submissions for any of the resources are using Fluent Forms. I'm slowly converting them over from another plugin to Fluent Forms. So if you guys wanted a demo of any of those, you can check that out.
next one that I use completely free is the header footer. I don't know how to say that word. Okay. And post injections. Basically, what I use this for is if I need to input a JavaScript code in the header. So for like Google Analytics, I just put it there. Super easy to use. Copy your code, paste it there, and it takes care of it rather than installing yet another plugin for Google Analytics. You can just use that one.
Yeah, this one's always good to insert extra code. A lot of times your SEO plugin will have a spot for it,
Yeah.
but it may not be in the spot that you need to put that code. Like if, for example, it needs to be somewhere different, like in a post, then you can't do that with an SEO plugin, but you can do it in like the header and footer and the body and stuff like that. But if you need to get fancy with it, then this is what you're going to need for that.
So I know many people have been asking lately what to use for that. That's what I use. Duplicate page. Sometimes you need to duplicate a post, a page, or a listing. This is what I use. Click a button next to the edit button, and it duplicates the page for you. Really easy. Post type switcher. If you or your client create the listing on the wrong directory, you just go and with post type switcher, you can switch it without losing any data, without having to recreate the listing all over again. Really easy to use as too. Lastly, Bonnie.net. I used to be Bonnie CDN. I use this for my content delivery network. For those of you that might not know what a content delivery network is, basically they load your files into their servers across the world, and when somebody's visiting your site, they access the files from the closest servers to them, so it loads faster. And there are many options here. WP Rocket have their own Rocket CDN, which is a little bit more expensive than Bonnie CDN. Cloudflare also offers a free one, as well as a paid solution. But Bonnie.net, in my opinion, is the cheapest and well, one of the cheapest, but you're not sacrificing quality. Um, what do you guys use for CDN if you use any CDN?
Cloudflare.
Cloudflare? Okay.
I use the free version. That's good enough for what I need.
Okay.
Cloudflare.
Yeah, I typically pay $2 or $3 with Bonnie CDN.
I've heard good things about Bunny though.
That's all I had for the presentation. Were there any other plugins that you guys wanted to discuss?
If anybody's looking for plugin suggestions, we always have the resources on the guide. If you're looking for more plugin suggestions, there's links there for some of the plugins that we talked about. There's links there. I will add more later this evening from what we talked about today. If you guys are looking for more options for plugins.
Has anybody used Hummingbird for image compression?
Hmm.
No, I use Short Pixel for that.
Okay.
All right, this is the surprise that I was talking about, Donald.
Ready?
Are you familiar with Segment?
Nope.
All right, so Segment is a client data CDP, well, processing, I guess it is. So basically, in a nutshell, what Segment does is you input only one piece of code in your site, and Segment takes the data that they need from your site and send it to the relevant tools. So you can implement this in your WordPress site, and they send the data to Google Analytics, Intercom, Facebook Pixel, rather than installing 10 different pieces of code, 10 snippets in your site. It helps you load your site faster because it's not loading like 5, 6, 7, 8 different snippets.
Right.
It's super expensive. Their cheapest plan is like $199. With that being said, they have a startup program that is completely free for 12 months. So it's $120 per month. It's completely free for 12 months. But the biggest thing about the program is that they have partnership with other companies that you can get their stuff for free or at a discounted rate. So for AWS, you can get between $5,000 and $25,000 in AWS credits. You can get a free 12 months of Hotjar Plus plan, or you can get a free year of Zendesk Suite. You can get Active Campaign for a year for the professional plan. Misspanel also, you can get $50,000 in annual credits. So it doesn't really cost you anything to sign up. All you have to do is like Google Segment Startup Program. Once you get accepted, then they send you, it's like an Airtable base with all the deals and the links and your code, your personal code, where you can go and sign up for all of this. Excuse me.
Sweet.
So just another resource that you can take advantage of. I signed up for this about 6 months ago. I've been using it since August, September last year.
Sweet. I'll take a look into that and see if I'll benefit from it.
Yeah. I will share the link here, but if you don't get it, all you have to do is type Segment Startup Program. Last two things that I have is, for those of you that don't know, Donald mentioned AppSumo. So AppSumo is a marketplace where you can go and get discounted tools for basically anything. They run offers frequently, and they're lifetime deals. So you can buy the code, let's say today, and you can use it forever until you die or the company dies. Right now, one of the best ones, in my opinion, that they're running is MarketMuse. MarketMuse is like a $200 or $300 tool that they are selling for $69 per one-time fee. And basically it helps you optimize your content so you can rank higher. So it tells you which words you need to include or which you are over-utilizing in your post. But basically, they have a lot of deals available right now. So if you want to check it out, also share the link here. That's all I had. Pending any questions for Any of you?
Vitaly says, which hosting provider do you use? I personally use GridPane with either an Amazon EC2 instance, a DigitalOcean instance, or a Vultr instance. Because if you go to those three companies and try to install WordPress on it and manage the SSL and all of that, it's a lot of code and back end that you're gonna have to do. There's no GUI or anything like that. So that's who I use for my hosting. A very popular one is Cloudways. For a site like WilCity, you're going to probably start paying around $23, $24 a month. They do have a cheaper plan, but it's really not going to be beneficial to put a directory on that cheaper plan. A lot of people use SiteGround. I personally don't like it because it's a shared server. And Kinsta is the other one that I would definitely recommend. So in order of who you should probably go with would be, depending on how many sites you have, GridPane would be beneficial. I host over 100 websites, so I pay pennies for those. But Kinsta, it would be the better one, and then Cloudways. Now, if you're looking in terms of price, Cloudways is better than Kinsta. So it's really up to you guys who you want to use, where you're located in the world, who you have available for you. Cloudways has data servers all over the world, so you don't have to worry about that. They are also a middleman for companies like Vultr and DigitalOcean and Amazon. It's just they're a little bit cheaper per month than GridPane is. So if you're an agency hosting more than 5 websites, then GridPane is something you might want to look at. But if you're looking to do 1 or 2 websites, then Cloudways would be what you guys want, because you can put 2 to 5 websites on a $24 a month server, depending on how big they are and how active they are. So that's who I would recommend for hosting.
Something that I am testing right now is I am testing Name Hero. So far, the experience has been fairly good. There have been some hiccups here and there, but most hosting companies will have those.
Yeah, I've seen them being thrown around in the hosting groups as what people are starting to use now. For the hardware spec to run WilCity, you need 2 cores minimum, and you need at least 4 gigabytes of RAM. You need more RAM, but a minimum of 2 cores. Let's see. I know Cloudways. Let's see what their packages are. The $23 a month one is Vultr, and their website's not working right now. Figures. But they've got for DigitalOcean, they've got a 2 gigabyte 1 core, which is $22 a month. They've got a 4 gigabyte 2 core, which is $42 a month. And then they have an 8 gigabyte 4 core, which is $80 a month. Which at that point in time, you may want to start looking into GridPane if you're getting into that big of a plan, because GridPane charges a fee for them, but then they're also like half the cost of Cloudways for the servers, because you're just going directly to the server instead of do a third party. So for hardware, minimum of 2 cores and 4 gigs, and your storage is just, I'd say a minimum of like 40, 50 gigs.
I don't think there are many other questions. So just for you to know, we're going to try to run this the first Saturday of every month, around 3 p.m. I think that's the time that most people voted that was going to be better. If there is a better time, please let me know and we can adjust from there.
Saturdays are always hard for me, but I will try to make them because my wife works on the weekends. And if she's packed that weekend, then I may or may not be able to do it. But so that'll be my situation.
Also, the software that we used the first time, they came out with a similar setup as this. So I will be testing that out this week to see. So
Oh, good.
if you're
Okay.
not able to do it, then we can jump on that one.
Perfect.
It was up to 500 people there.
Yeah, because I think this open forum works out well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. This works very, very well. I think that at the end of this meeting, we all end up with a lot of new links to explore, a lot of new plugins to test. So it was really very, very, very useful and great. About the time, well, independently from the day of the week, I think that as we discussed in the group, we have users from all over the world. So you are in Puerto Rico, you are in United States, there are here people from many countries. I'm in Portugal, Europe. So in the group we discussed this, and probably this is the best time to fit at least the Americas, Europe, and Australia, because this is about after lunch for you, well, maybe middle afternoon for you in the Americas now. It's after dinner. The beginning of the meeting is just after dinner for us in Europe, and it's just after breakfast for people in the Australia. So it's probably the most optimized time to get most of the people in daytime, probably. So we will. About the day of the week, well, we can maybe try different days or to see what it's best to everyone. So for me, it's no problem because this is at this time in Europe. It's 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. depending on your country. So it's on the evening. So for us in Europe, I think that it's not a problem to be on a Saturday or during the week because it will be always after our working hours. So it's not a problem. But you can make a poll in the group and see what others have to say about the day. For me, every day is good, so no problem.
Yeah, I believe everybody, well, not everybody, but most people voted for a Saturday. Something else to take in consideration why I would like to keep it on a Saturday is because even if it's too late or too early where you live, on Sunday, most people will have a little bit more flexibility.
Yeah.
Rather than a day during the week where they might be at work or they have to rest for the next day of work.
Right.
Whatever the case, guys, I think this meeting is being recorded, right?
Yes,
why
sir.
don't we just post it in the Facebook group so those that were absent can just watch it,
Yep, it will be.
Nice.
And we'll also post it on the guide and send it out that way.
Yeah.
One last thing. I will get to work on that presentation to get it done by tonight and send it out to everybody. Basically, it will be the same thing that we cover a little bit more in depth. And also, it will be posted on the WilCity guide and on the Facebook group.
And we created our own YouTube channel for the guide so that we can upload all of the meetups there. So if you're not already subscribed to it, so that way you get notifications of when I upload all the meetups and stuff like that.
And more than likely in 2 weeks, I will get on that class for how to scrape the data and upload it into your sites. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be
great.
Love it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. It was an amazing meetup. I think it was better than the last one. So probably the next will be even better. So waiting to see you all in 1 month's time. And I believe that in 1 month's time, all our directories will be also better and with more content. So it will be great to see you all again and to have a different team, a different topic for the next meetup. Maybe you can do again a new pool and suggest some subjects, because there are a lot of themes that we can discuss related with the WilCity optimization and WilCity tips and tricks. So there's plenty of subjects for the next 100 meetups.
Yeah, I will be posting another poll soon on the group to ask what we should discuss next meeting. So if you have any ideas, please add it to the poll and make sure everybody go and review it when I post it, so we can cover what is important to you rather than what we think we should be talking about, because what I think we should be talking about might not be what most people are struggling with.
Okay.
It's funny. I thought it was 3 p.m. my time.
No worries.
Okay,
Marco.
I lost everything.
It's all recorded, so you're good.
Marcos,
Yeah.
I don't think you're in the group, but would you please send me a DM? I want to talk to you about something.
I DM you to your Facebook profile, but never got answer from you.
Yeah, I was looking for.
Check your other messages.
Yeah, it always goes to the other messages.
I don't know, because I actually send you a message this morning, or not this morning, but a few hours ago. Then I sent a message to Don because I wanted to know, but I was confused and I just got. I'm just late, so
It's all good.
I got it now.
I just found it. Okay,
All right.
I will talk to you offline. But
All right.
everybody, thank you for joining.
Okay.
It was
Thank
a
you.
pleasure talking to you today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night.
Yeah.
Best of luck in the next 30 days. And hey, let's come strong next time, okay?
Yep.
Okay.
See
Bye.
you
See you guys
guys.
later.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Bye.